Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday. I'm a little late today, but I'm here. And I hope you're having a blessed and wonderful Wednesday. And I want to get right into it. My topic of today is talking about distractions. And I am coming out of Proverbs 4. And I have a couple of verses from Proverbs 4. So it's Proverbs 4, and it is 24 through 27. Proverbs 4, verses 24 to 27. And it reads, Keep your mouth free of perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. So, my subject is distractions. So, basically, I'm talking about just eliminating distractions. And a lot of times people think that distractions are people, but I'm starting to figure out that distractions are far from just people and being around the wrong people. It's basically 80%, your success depends on, to me, in my opinion, 80% of your actions and how much you put into it. You can't give a little bit and expect to have a lot. And for me, this year, I've been focusing more on setting goals. So that's what I want to tell you. Write it down. And I am a big dreamer, like a lot of people, but you have to be realistic. For instance, my big thing this year has been losing weight. And at first, I wasn't losing weight because I was still just eating stuff. I was still doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to do, etc., etc. Give me just a second. So I was still eating, all of the wrong things. I was still like just eating after dark. And eating after dark is a big no no if you want to lose weight. You have to stay consistent as well. I was exercising 3 times a week, which I still do, but I was still eating the incorrect things. Then I was like, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And then I recently got a physical, and the doctor told me, because before, they were telling me that I was pre-diabetic. I got out of that. And then my blood pressure was kind of high. Then I got out of that. And recently I went to the doctor to get a physical, which I do every year, and I definitely would recommend. And that's when, the doctor told me that I have high cholesterol. And I was like, what? So I've been focusing on just strictly eating the right things. And it takes sometimes that wake up call for you to really just stay diligent and just keep going and stay persistent and on the right track. So now I have completely cut out a lot of sweets that I used to eat. I love ice cream. I used to love Rice Krispie treats. Rice Krispie treats, if you don't know, have a lot of butter, marshmallows, sugar, and yes, that can increase your cholesterol. I like seafood a lot, but they were telling me to eat more salmon and more green leafy vegetables, and that has been what I've been working on. And I must tell you, for me, it's easier to cut cold turkey, but then I started being like, I still was craving the sweets. So I've just started reducing it. So my charge to you is, if that's one of your, goals, trying to lose weight, don't just cut it off cold turkey, because you're not going to be persistent in doing that. Don't just cut off sweets cold turkey. Don't try to just say, you know what, I'm just going to cut out all sweets. You can do it in moderation. So, for instance, for 1 week, if you used to get Starbucks coffee every day, you can cut it down to twice a week, and then eventually your mind will say, you know what, I don't need this as much. And you are not going to drink coffee as much. I kid you not, because now that I've decreased how much sugar that I eat, my body does not crave sugar. And I've been intaking more water with lemon to be exact, because it balances a lot of things. And it has helped me. So I'm just here to tell you, just find a game plan with your goals and setting goals. And that's what I mean about eliminating distractions, and be serious and just start with baby steps. You can do weekly goals and then check in with daily goals and ask yourself, have I done XYZ? You don't have to make these big, outrageous goals. That's why you're not achieving them. And that's why what I was telling myself, that's why I'm not achieving these goals. Because I have this thought in my mind where I only see the ending. And that's what we do. We only think about the end result and the goal. You have to think about how you also get from point A to point B. You can't just sit up and say, okay, I want to get a house and think only about the house. You have to do the legwork. You have to save up for your down payment. You have to save in general. You have to look for the houses. You have to find a realtor, you have to look and research. So just make small goals every day and just be persistent and consistent with it and keep God first, pray, and I promise you it's all going to come together. And what I say or what I mean about eliminating with distractions is not just people, but it's also people. Get away from negative people. I talk about that a lot. Get away from people, and you don't have to tell everyone your business. You don't have to tell everyone what's going on, what your next moves are. If it's something that I love, for me, I'm always going to protect it. One thing I've always wanted to do and keep private in my life is my dating life, my next moves, things with my family. I don't really talk about. Why? Because I love them. I love those people. I love those things. Even if it's a person that I no longer date, I'm not talking about the relationship or when we were in the relationship. Like, who cares? It's over. So for me, there's just certain things that I protect. And it makes my life more peaceful. It does eliminate distractions. And then you know what else it eliminates? Gossip. Because you can only just speculate. You haven't heard anything from the horse's mouth. So there's nothing you really can say about me. Okay? So I don't like gossip. I don't like people who just spread this and they're messy and mm-mm. So that's as far as people. That's one group of people that are distractions. And like I said, get away from negative people. And my dad always told me, you're only going as far as your circle. If your circle year after year after year has goals and they haven't achieved those goals, guess what? You're not going to achieve them either. I always say, get around people that you want to be like. Get around the people that whose lives that you admire, because I promise you, you're going to do nothing but match them. Get around friends who have more than you, who have several businesses if you want to be a business owner, because guess what? They can mentor to you. Don't get around people who, like I said, are negative and you're sharing things with them. And you know that one person that never has anything good to say, they're never supportive, or people who just don't support you in general, who don't show up for you, but they want you to show up for everything for their family, their kids, their husband, whatever the case may be. That's not fair. And I'm telling you, it's the little things like that that help you to really see. Because when you become successful, they're not going to show up for you. And you know what? Actually, success is different. They might show up for you then. But when you are on that smaller level and you're really putting the work in, they're not going to, show up for you there. And I think that's the most important time where you need people to show up for you, especially if you're a business owner. You need your friends. Your friends and family should be sharing your work. They should be sharing what you do. If you're making big moves, they should be right there promoting. If that's your friend, that's your day one. They should be with you during the darkest hour of your life. That's what a friend is. The Bible says a friend sticks closer than a brother. If a friend doesn't stick closer than a brother for you, why are you calling them your friend? They're distractions. They're distractions. Wasted time is a distraction. Don't ever waste time. Time is so valuable. It's okay to rest, but don't stay in rest. Don't let rest turn into laziness. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, years turn into decades. And you're still right in the same spot, hoping, wishing, and dreaming. It's time to get up. It's time to wake up. It's time to set those goals. It's time to work at those goals. Pray. It's not just enough to pray. You have to work. You have to put the work in. You have to set your goals. Like I said, those tiny goals and the tiny work that you do, the baby steps that you do every day. are going to all create the end result. Ask anyone who is successful. Ask anyone. They are going to tell you it was not easy. It was hard. A lot of people were homeless. A lot of people had pounds of debt before they got to what they were really supposed to do. But what did they do? They kept going. They kept remaining consistent and persistent, and also eliminating distractions. Certain places you shouldn't be in. There's certain, when it comes to distractions, if you are a positive person, there are certain places you shouldn't even be going to if you're positive, or if you're on a whole new, just you're thinking. And it's just like an alcoholic, okay? A person who is saying, you know what, I want to quit drinking. Why are you hanging with people that drink? Why are you going to the liquor store? Why are you going to clubs and bars? If you are serious about growth and change and whatever your goal is, your life should reflect that. So if you are trying to remain not drinking, why would you go to those places where you're going to have temptation? Even in a marriage, I think there's certain things in a marriage you shouldn't be going. You shouldn't be hanging with certain people. You shouldn't be going to certain places where you know you could be tempted. Stay out of the spirit of temptation. If you know something is going to tempt you, why would you go to that place? If you're trying to change, if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to be successful, why do you want to go to these places? Seek peace. Seek places that bring you peace. Seek being around people that bring you peace. And for me, I've been looking at just outside more. I've been looking at nature, what God, created in the world, the trees, the sun. I like outside. I love water. I love to be by lakes and rivers and beaches, of course. So for me, that kind of a setting and traveling brings me great joy, and it helps to center me. But everyone is different. You have to find what brings you peace. And my prayer is that you find your peace. My prayer is, even if you don't know what you want to do and what goals you want to achieve, that you get in your quiet place and you eliminate those distractions. And I will tell you, when you pray to God to eliminate distractions and to be at peace, it is very, very lonely. Very. I think social media tries to make it seem like, it's great. Sometimes it's not great. Sometimes I pray, but I have to remember I prayed for this, because sometimes I sit up and I'm like, this is lonely, but it's a good lonely. I'm not out here getting into trouble. I'm not out here being distracted, and I'm able to focus. So be careful what you pray for. And if God gives it to you, that means he trusts you with it. He wants you to achieve what you are stating that you're going to achieve. So just walk the course. Don't let little things get to you. Eliminate those distractions. I want to see your success stories. I want to see you be successful. I want to see everybody in their element. And I think more successful people need to tell their stories. They need to share the times when it was the darkest for them. For a lot of times, I just don't want to see the result. I don't want to see the result all the time. Because when you are in that element of you're going through the process, sometimes you want to see people who are going through the process as well. Share your stories. Open up. Tell people about how hard it was, but it got easier along the way, and what you did to overcome your battles and your struggles. That's what we're all here for. We're here to help each other. But I just wanted to come on briefly and let you know, don't give up. Eliminate those distractions, set your weekly goals, and just keep pushing. I don't care if you have to write a note on the door every day or on a wall. Keep going, keep pushing, or saying, did you set your goal today? Go set those goals, and set the goals, not just set the goals. Did you work on your goals? Because you have to set them, work on them, and then achieve them. And that's what life is all about. Baby steps. Just work on it every day. And there's sometimes it may seem like nothing is changing and nothing is moving. But that's just all in your mind. It's all going to come together, I promise you. Don't give up. Be patient. And keep that zeal and that drive. And I'm telling you, it's all going to come together. God bless. Happy and blessed Wednesday. Eliminate those distractions, y'all. God bless. Bye bye.